Very good morning to all of you. I once again welcome you all to this current lecture. In our last lecture, we completed the first important chapter from the syllabus of this paper. Now, in our today's lecture, we are going to take the remaining chapter from the syllabus, that is the chapter number 2 called as the stereochemistry. Now, as far as the weightage of the chapters are considered, it is a very important chapter from the syllabus as far as the weightage to this chapter is considered. Now, this chapter is different as compared to the previous chapter which we completed. Now, in this chapter, we have to consider the different aspect of the organic molecules as far as their physical and chemical properties are to be considered. So first of all, what is meant by this stereochemistry? So the stereochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of the spatial arrangement of and atoms in the molecules. So as far as the organic molecules is considered, how the atoms present in a molecule can be arranged in a space or in a spatial arrangement, what type of arrangement is there. So that branch of a chemistry is simply called as the stereochemistry. Before that, in a regular method, suppose if we want to study the structure of a molecule, we use the two-dimensional method. Suppose if we want to write something on this blackboard or on a page, we use the two-dimensional view or we use the two-dimensional method. But suppose if we want to study the structure of a molecule in another way, that is in a three-dimensional way, at that time we have to use the help of a important branch of a chemistry, and that is called as the stereochemistry. So in a stereochemistry, we study the arrangement of the atoms present in a molecule in a three-dimensional way. In a three-dimensional view, we can study the structure of a particular organic molecules, and for this purpose, this branch is a very important. So the important characteristics of this stereochemistry is that we view the molecule in a three-dimensional way. So this important chapter consists of the study of the organic molecules in a different ways. So first of all, before starting the actual points from the syllabus, the first important concepts from the chapter which we are going to study in this current lecture, that is called as the isomerism. So we know very well what is meant by this isomerism. So what is by isomerism? So isomerism is nothing but the phenomena in which the organic compounds having the similar molecular formula, but they have the different structural formula, then that organic molecules are called as the isomers, and that phenomena is called as the isomerism. So this isomerism, if we want to study under the heading stereochemistry, so that isomerism is broadly classified into the two broad classes. So this classification of isomerism is very important in order to study the further points present in this chapter stereochemistry. So we are going to study now the important classification of this particular isomerism. So isomerism is broadly classified into two types depending upon how to study the internal arrangement of the molecule or the internal connectivity of atoms present in a molecule, how to study that particular internal arrangement. So depending upon that, this isomerism is classified into two important types. The first is called as the structural isomerism. This is the first type, structural isomerism, and second is called as the stereoisomerism. So these are the two broad classes of this isomerism, structural isomerism, and second is called as the stereoisomerism. Now what is the meaning of that? First of all, as far as this structural isomerism is considered, we can say that the molecules can be differentiated from one another, from one isomer to the another isomer, depending upon the structural properties present in both the isomers. Means these two isomers get differ in terms of the some structural properties. So depending upon that, that isomerism is called as the structural isomerism, and second is called as the stereoisomerism. Now as far as the stereoisomerism is considered, we can consider some another aspects irrespective of that of the structural aspects, and that's why that second isomerism is new, that is a stereoisomerism. So in that isomerism, we have to consider the another aspects like the chirality of a molecule. Second is called as a conformations, configurations. So all this study we have to done under the heading stereoisomerism. So these are the two broad classes of this isomerism. Now in this structural isomerism, we have to consider the further classification of this particular structural isomerism. So first of all, this structural isomerism is classified into four different types like chain isomerism, second is called as the positional isomerism, third is the functional group isomerism, and the fourth is called as the tautomerism, or it may be called as the keto-enol tautomerism. So this structural isomerism can be classified into four subtypes. These four subtypes we have to study now one by one. So first important subtype of this structural isomerism is called as the chain isomerism. Now this first subtype of the structural isomerism is very important as far as the study of the organic molecules is considered. Now name itself indicate what is the meaning of the chain isomerism. So we can say that if we take some organic molecules, for example, if I take an example of organic molecules like N-pentane, if I take here N-pentane, CH3, single bond CH2, single bond CH2, single bond CH2, single bond CH3. Now this compound is called as the 5 carbon atom containing organic molecule, that is alkane molecule is there. Since it contains the 5 carbons, so it is called as the N-pentane. So this is one of the isomers with the molecular formula. This is a C5 is there, and hydrogen number is a 3 plus 3 6, 8, 10 and 12. So molecular formula is a C5H12. So if we take such a type of the compound having the molecular formula C5H12, so this type of the molecular formula has the different type of the possible arrangement of the atoms in the molecule. So first possible arrangement for this molecular formula is called as the N-pentane molecule with a straight chain structure. So this is the one of the possibility of the organic compound with the molecular formula C5H12. If we want to write down the another possible isomers of this molecular formula, we may write here CH3 single bond CH, single bond CH3, single bond CH2, single bond CH3. So this is the another second type of the possible structure for the organic molecule having the molecular formula C5H12. Now what is the name of this compound? So this compound is now called as isopentane. This is a isopentane and this is a N-pentane. Now if we compare both the structures of these two different organic molecules, what happens? As far as this first compound is considered, it is a straight chain compound. It is called as the straight chain compound. On the other hand, if we take this second compound, this compound has one branching. It has one branching or one side chain is there having a methyl group. So we can say that these two compounds having the same molecular formula but a different structural formula, they get differ in terms of the length of the chain. Length of the chain get differ. In the first compound, 5 carbon atom is present in a straight chain, while in the second compound only 4 carbon atoms are present in a straight chain, and that's how we can say that the isomers in which they get differ in terms of the length of the carbon chain, then that particular isomers is called as the chain isomers, and that isomerism is called as the chain isomerism. So this is the best example of the chain isomerism in which first isomer is a N-pentane while second isomer is called as the isopentane, and these two isomers are called as the chain isomers, and this phenomena is called as the chain isomerism. So this is the first possible type of the structural isomerism. Now second important subclass of this isomerism, that is called as the positional isomerism. Now again, as far as this second isomerism is considered, name itself indicate that in order to study the two different isomers, if we take into consideration the position of something means we have to take into consideration position of the substituent. If we take into consideration position of the substituent, if that position get differ or position get vary, then that two isomers is simply called as the positional isomerism. So for example, if I take into consideration the simple example, first is a CH3, CH2, single bond CH2, single bond Cl. So this is the first simple example of the alkyl halides, that is called as the propyl chloride. This is a propyl chloride is there. Now if I take the another example, suppose if I take here this type of example of alkyl halide, CH3 single bond CH, single bond CH3, single bond Cl. Now this second compound is called as the 2-chloropropane. This is a 2-chloropropane and first is called as the N-propyl chloride. Now these two compounds having the same molecular formula but get differ in terms of their different structural formula. Now what is the difference? The difference is in terms of the position of the halogen atom. In this first case, this halogen is attached to the carbon number first, but in this second compound, the halogen is attached to the carbon number second, and that's how we can say that such a type of the isomerism is called as the positional isomerism. So we can say that this positional isomerism is defined as the isomers in which the two isomers get differ in terms of the position of the substituent, then that isomerism is called as the positional isomerism. So this is the second important type of this positional isomerism. Now the third important isomerism from this classification is called as the functional group isomerism. So again the two isomers get differ in terms of the functional groups. So that isomerism is called as the functional group isomerism. Suppose if we take a simple example of these two isomers, first is a ethyl alcohol. Suppose this ethyl alcohol we take here as a first isomer, and second isomer we take here like CH3 single bond O, single bond CH3. Now these two compounds having the similar molecular formula but they get differ in terms of the functional group. Now in this first case the functional group present is called as the OH. This hydroxyl group is present as a functional group. That's how we can say that this first compound is a alcohol compound, while in the second case the functional group that is a O. So ether functional group is present. So these two compounds are called as the functional group isomerism. Why? Because there is a different type of the functional groups are present in both these compounds, even though they have the same molecular formula. So such a type of the isomerism is called as the functional group isomerism. Now the last type from this classification is a tautomerism, that is a keto-enol tautomerism. So what happens if the two compounds in this last classification, if we study this keto-enol tautomerism, what happens? The two compounds get differ in terms of the one hydrogen atom. Suppose if we take the such a type of the compound, if I take here CH3 C double bond O CH3, the same compound can be represented in another way. This is a ketonic compound is there containing the keto functional group, that is a C double bond O. Same compound can be written in another manner, CH3C single bond OH double bond CH2. Then we can say that these two isomers are in equilibrium with each other due to the shifting in terms of this hydrogen atom. There is a alpha hydrogen atom. We can write the same compound in a two different manner. So this is called as one tautomerism. These structural effects we already studied in the last chapter. So this is called as a keto-enol tautomerism. So these are the four different types of this isomerism, that is a structural isomerism. One is a chain isomerism, positional isomerism, functional group isomerism, and next is called as a tautomerism, or it is a keto-enol tautomerism. Now sometimes this tautomerism, that is a fourth type of this structural isomerism. In this case another type of isomerism is sometimes also taken, that is called as the metamers. Metamers is there. This metamers is again taken in some cases. That is a metamerism. This is a metamerism is there. Metamerism. So sometimes this type is also taken. There is a fourth type of this particular structural isomerism, that is a metamerism. Now what is my metamerism? So this is a again next type of this structural isomerism, subtype of this structural isomerism, in which what we have to take here, if we take the two different isomers like CH3 single bond CH2 single bond O CH2 CH3. Suppose this is one of the possible isomer, that is a diethyl ether is there. This is one of the possible structure of the ether. Now, if we take the another type of the ether, suppose if I take here CH3, single bond O, single bond CH2, single bond CH2, single bond CH3. Now, if we compare the relative structure of these two isomers, that is these two ethers, they having the same molecular formula, but they get differ in terms of the structure, and that's how we can say that this is a structural isomerism. Especially they are called as the metamers, or that this phenomenon is called as the metamerism. Now, what is the difference between these two structures? Now, this is a another type of the isomerism, that is structural isomerism, in which what happens, the relative number of carbon atoms on either side of the functional group get differ. The relative number of carbon atoms on either side of the functional group get differ, then that particular isomerism is called as the metamerism, and that isomers are called as the metamers. Now, what is that difference? Now, if we consider the first molecule in which the two carbon atoms are present on either side of the functional group, two carbon atoms are present on either side of the functional group, but in the second case what happens, these numbers get differ. In this case, one carbon atom is present on the left hand side, while the three carbon atoms are present on a right hand side of the functional group, and that's why you can say that they get differ in terms of the number of carbon atoms on a either side of the functional group, and that's why these isomers are called as the metamers, and this phenomena is called as the metamerism. So, this is another possible type of the subclassification of this structural isomerism. Once we study the structural isomerism, the second important type of this isomerism is called as the stereoisomerism. Now, this stereoisomerism is further classified into two broad classes. One is called as the conformational isomerism, and second is called as the configurational isomerism. Now, as far as this first type of this stereoisomerism is considered, this is a conformational isomerism, and this isomerism is obtained due to the rotation around the carbon-carbon single bond. If we rotate, suppose this is a ethane molecule, suppose CH3 single bond CH3 joined by a single covalent bond. If we rotate, suppose this particular single bond, then what happens, we get the different type of the conformations. Suppose this is a first position of this particular ethane molecule. If we rotate this carbon single bond carbon, we get the different position of this particular molecule. Then such a type of the isomers is called as the conformational isomerism due to the rotation around carbon carbon single bond. The second subclassification is called as the configurational isomerism. Now, this configurational isomerism involves or includes the relative position of the atoms with respect to the centrally situated atom, then that particular isomerism is called as the configurational isomerism. Once we study this conformational and configuration, we have to study their subclassification. So, this conformational isomerism is again classified into two subtypes. The first subtype is called as the open chain compounds. The first subclassification is called as the open chain compounds, or it may be called as the acyclic compounds. Now, what we know very well, open chain compounds means in that compounds the cyclic chain is absent. So, that compound may be called as acyclic compounds, like compounds like ethane is there, propane is there, or N-butane is there. So, all these compounds are called as acyclic compounds or the state chain or open chain compounds. And the second important type of this conformational isomerism is called as the cyclic compounds, or it may be called as the cycloalkanes. So, that cyclic compounds or cycloalkanes is a second type of this conformational isomerism. And in the last, if we study this configurational isomerism is again have the two important subclasses. The first important subclass is called as the optical isomerism. That is, optical isomerism is there, in which we study the chirality of a molecule, whether the chiral center is present or not. So, that particular chiral study we have to done under the heading called as the optical isomerism. And in the next class, that next class is called as the geometrical isomerism. In this geometrical isomerism, we have to take into consideration the relative position of the atoms or groups across the carbon-carbon double bond. So, that particular isomerism is a cis and trans isomerism, and in general it is called as the geometrical isomerism. So, this is an important classification as far as this second chapter stereochemistry is concerned. We have to come across a number of times all these concepts in this chapter. That's why all these terms are very, very important as far as this chapter is consider. So in the today's lecture, we started this chapter number 2 called as the stereochemistry, important chapter from the syllabus. And in this lecture, we study the definition of the stereochemistry, and after that, one important point that is called as the classification of isomers or classification of the isomerism. So this is a classification of this isomerism into two broad classes: structural isomerism, stereoisomerism, which is again further classified. Structural isomerism is of four types. Chain isomerism is there, positional isomerism is there, functional group isomerism is there, and that last is a tautomerism, or it is a ketonal tautomerism, suppose, or it may sometimes we take here metamerism. So these are the all possible types of the structural isomerism. While in case of this stereoisomerism, two broad classes is there: conformational and configurational isomerism, which further gets classified into two subclasses. First is a open chain compounds, second is the cyclic compounds. While in case of this configurational isomerism, two classes is there: optical isomerism is there, second is called as a geometrical isomerism is there. So this is an important point from this chapter. Now the remaining points from this chapter we will take in a next lecture. So with this, I stop here. Thank you so much.